Yo, welcome back to the channel. We got a doozy for y'all today. I'm your host, Joe Pro 973 from the Bricks, from Newark. Newark, I got us. This is Uncontrolled Substance TV, fueled to you by Black Lens Digital. Yes, that's right, Black Lens Digital. Get them for all your needs. I know this is prom season just passed, but they can shoot your prom, your wedding, you're having a party. Holla at Black Lens Digital. They can get it done for you. Sports, we into the summertime with Pop Warner, the football teams. Holla at them. Your athlete, you want to make a highlight reel for them that you can show off the colleges. Black Lens Digital, they the ones. But with all of that out the way, we got the guest.
Yeah.
We got the savior.
Yeah.
The boy Chops, the savior.
Salute, bro. Salute, man. The champ is here.
Absolutely.
The champ is here. It's been long overdue.
Long overdue,
bro.
Yeah,
long overdue.
Yeah.
You already know, man.
And
I'm here.
Chops, we have, a long kind of extensive history.
Facts.
Being in the circuits, pulling up to them open mic events.
Yeah.
Doing them shows, making our presence felt throughout the city. But we both have kind of transitioned. And I'm no longer doing it. You still are doing it, but you're more focused on the business side.
Yeah.
You're more focused on the business side.
Facts.
I want to get into that, but I do want to start with how was your upbringing in the city? What are some of your earliest memories in the Bricks?
Well, I'm from the South Ward. Born and raised in the South, man. Born in Beth Israel, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And, I grew up on Shaw Ave and shit,
That's what's up.
Off of Willoughby, between Dewey and Willoughby.
Okay.
But it was like any other, hood, I was a product of my environment, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, like my household wasn't as crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, my grandfather owned our house.
So you had structure. It
was structure. My grandfather was a Newark cop. You know what I'm saying?
Fire.
Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? My grandfather was a Newark cop. Before that, he was a professional boxer.
Okay.
So, yeah, but the whole family was in the house, you know what I'm saying? The whole family, three family house. And we all lived in it, you know what I'm saying? The whole family, so I was around my aunts and uncles, but, at the end of the day, when you got uncles and aunts that's young, they was outside.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They was outside, so it's like, me being a nephew and young, I was outside, so I seen a lot.
Seeing a lot.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like that was our, the hood niggas, the uncles, those was the supermen to us.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what we wanted.
Yeah.
The
we
whole
saw
product.
what they was doing and we kind of,
Right. That's what we
And
leaned
to us,
towards.
They leaned into us. Like,
Yeah, you know what? And the good thing about coming from my hood is that the old heads wasn't the type of old heads that didn't, that allowed you not to go to school. Like, they was on our heels, even though we did what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Being grown but young, but, we was still outside.
That is something that I can see as a kind of consistent change.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's not so much. The older heads, they want to kind of influence you not to go to school so you can take this pack or take this hammer and do that. But when we was coming up, I remember specifically, they was like, man, get your ass down, man.
On us, you know what I'm saying? They like really was on us. But the crazy thing, even today, looking at things today, which we didn't understand when we was young, is that even the old heads is young.
Exactly.
You feel me? Like, coming up, I'm 13, 14 on the block, and I'm considering the niggas that's older, old heads, calling them old heads, not knowing you're only like 2 years older than me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I say all the time, because back then when we were much younger, 2 years, 3 years, it seemed like a lot.
Right.
Now that we got older, we older.
It was more like who was off the porch first. You probably felt he was a little older because you see him doing a little more.
No, but not even that though. Like, even in our own households, like, everybody grew up with cousins. I had cousins.
Right.
My cousin may have been 3 years older than me, but shit, I thought he was a grown ass man because if I was 8, he was 11, or he was 10 and he was able to go outside, or if I was 10 and he was 14, like, back in the day, that gap
I had them, and I was able to follow behind them.
Facts. He
So,
definitely,
yo,
and Swift was aggravating as hell
he's
too.
from the South, but he definitely was coming to the hood.
Facts.
Block,
okay.
Yeah, we was out. Yeah, like
coming on Prince Street, living there.
And
like,
yo, walking.
But that's good though, because a lot of that stuff is how we kind of learn. So like you said, coming from, let's say maybe the Hawthorne area, walking down the L block, right? That's how you learn. You like, oh, it might be over here. Like these dudes over here, and this, that. Like you kind of learn how to navigate.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
It was almost, hey yo, you know what? Like doing things like that, you know, coming up. It kind of you know what movie I compare Warriors.
Yeah.
That's how it was. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even though ain't nobody getting chased, and you know what I'm saying? Exactly. But you walking through hoods. You walking through hoods, and you know, we didn't have the knowledge of who was who and what was what, but we found out the hard way. I remember walking through Prince one time, word is born, and they found it funny. Bro, but they shot at us. Yeah. Bro, we just walking past, you know what I'm saying? And niggas let on boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? But niggas is laughing, but it's like, yo, this is the shit that we going through.
Exactly.
As kids, you know what I'm saying?
Niggas was playing hide and seek for real.
Yeah,
Base,
kids. kicking your doors, not realizing the consequences that can happen behind that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Playing knick knock on somebody's door, kicking their door. They like, oh, like, yeah.
Hey, I said that. I said that in some. I think I put a post up, and it was more like a testimony.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, what y'all know about dropping water balloons out of a project building in a crowd full of gangsters?
I seen that. I knew what he
we
was
did it.
About. I knew what he
You
was
know what I'm saying? Like we did it. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
probably why they shot at us.
Yeah, could be. See, not even thinking about it.
Known for that.
Yeah, so. But it was, you know what I'm saying? Shit. But you know, growing up in Newark, bro, in the South Ward, it made you an instant survivor.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, we had to survive, you know. It wasn't sweet. Yeah, I had my whole family in the crib, you know. Grandfather was a cop, but that didn't stop or prevent us from being outside.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It taught us how to move strategically.
Because that structure can only do so much. At the end of the day, you still have to go outside. You have to make it to school. You have to get back from school.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you still have to make your own choices.
Right, exactly. Like, people don't understand, like, what you know about being 13, 14 years old and you outside hustling and your block, you making about 10,000, damn near a day, damn near. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, you know, 10,000 wasn't mine at that age, but I got 2 off the 10.
Yeah.
We don't know what to do with that. I was doing stuff like, you know, I go get hot pastrami and cheese sandwiches for like 20 niggas.
So
young.
Back then doing that though, do you think any animosity was brought out of that? Like some people might have felt like, oh, he got a good structure, but still he out here doing this.
Well, I can honestly say if that was the case, it was never presented to me.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Because, you know, like, even things like that have some type of backlash or consequences to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I wouldn't know. I'm just keeping, I wouldn't know. You know, I was one of the cool niggas, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, if any type of situation presented itself, you know, it got handled. But, you know, I didn't really get a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's just be how you carry yourself.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
Sometimes when you're an unlikable person, you get
the
energy. You get that energy. It comes to you in certain ways. And then some ways we can't, it don't matter how good you are, we just get that energy. It's just the world. But
facts.
Being a good person goes a long way into, you know.
And that's what basically, you know, my situation, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, they hate on that. They hate you being a good person, you know what I'm saying? but in the back of their mind, they know this dude or this person get love, and he get love from the people that I respect. So it make a person fall back. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
You know, being a product of my environment, man. Newark is, I love Newark. You know what I'm saying? I've learned, survived, still here. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
Yeah, I definitely think that the Brick City, growing up in Newark, the surrounding places, because we went to East Orange, we went to Irvington, we did all of that. Right. But I definitely feel like the experience of growing up in Newark, it was like, I can't say like no other, but I'm going to say like no other. Because, man, some of the things that happened in my experience, I wouldn't change it for anything.
Yeah.
But, you was about to add something?
Well, I just add, like I said, you know, I'm a couple years younger than y'all, so just
Right.
watching y'all, like I said, I was able to kind of maneuver, make the same, got money with both of y'all. You feel
Right,
me?
right,
Like,
right.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? How being able to keep the duality, like you said, got the structure, but we out here in the streets, cause like you said in the interview you had, I don't want to make it like this. We talking top to say interview you had about your sister making sure you made the right decisions and you got your grandfather, but we still out there going to make the decisions that we choose to make in defiance of them. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So, you know what I
But
mean?
that's where it comes with the whole being a product of your environment.
Right.
Yeah.
It was
we
the
wanted it
environment.
fast. We want it faster than what, you know what I mean? We don't want to wait for it. So.
And for me, what I will say, like there were certain things that kind of pushed me outside. I wasn't always outside, but once you get outside and you trying to, like you said, you trying to make that money because you feel like that's the best way.
Right,
Like
right.
that's the way that I can get to it the quickest way.
Right.
You feel like, all right, this is what I'm good at. You feel like,
to help.
Yeah.
you feel like I'm good at that, so I can get that done, and I don't have to put in as much effort. But
Right.
we don't know that when we doing that, we're being businessmen. Like we're learning how to run a crew, or we're learning how to run a
Right.
shift.
Right,
And
right,
so, man, what if we would have just put all of that energy and effort into something else, channeled it into a much better way? Like, you know, we could have definitely, I say, run one of these Fortune 500 companies with our skills from the streets.
I agree.
That's definitely a fact.
I agree. But you know what? Also, what I've learned being an adult, you know what I'm saying? It's because I was so keen and fascinated with wanting to be outside. See, my fascination wasn't really even so much the hustling, the getting the money. It was just being outside.
Being outside,
You know what I'm saying? Like I just wanted to be outside, and you know, it deterred me from doing a lot of things the correct way. And you know what? And becoming an adult, you feel it.
So,
You feel it.
being that you said you wanted to be outside, do you feel like now, you know, because we're here with Chops and Savor, do you feel like that played into a part of your creativity?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it definitely played into it a lot, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, it's really just a God's gift.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't even really, you know, everything else is an added plus to the gift that you're given. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my creativity was always crazy. It's crazy because when I was a kid, two people in the world that I loved more than anything, you know, besides your parents and them.
Absolutely.
But I'm talking about entertainment wise.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson and Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
So understand the knowledge of creativity that me as a child, I'm so
When you looking up to that.
like so it's like I was
those are
destined.
your standards. It's
Right,
like-
exactly. So it's like being great. Those is great. Yeah. So that was like embedded in me, you know what I'm saying? And people take it, you know, people take who I am and how and they perceive me as being cocky,
Okay.
arrogant. You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
So
you
you
feel
cool
me?
with taking the arrogance.
I'm cool with that.
Because you got to be a little
Hey,
bit
yo.
arrogant to be great.
But you know what? I think when people say cocky and arrogant, not really looking at it, it's confident. I'm just confident in my craft. I
good
know what
point.
I can do. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I know that I'm the best at what I do.
And when you say it, it's like that confidence is always looked at as a negative.
Oh, hey, yo, and that's the problem.
But why am I walking with my head up, chest out? Like, why does that make you feel some type of way?
Right? Why you bothered by that? Like, tell me why.
Be walking like that.
You feel me? Like, it's yo,
Yeah.
bro. I've gotten that a lot out my journey, my nigga. Like, you know, like I hear, you know, niggas whisper behind my back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the information get to me, but I'm not built to address. Like that's female shit to me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's like I'm not. All right, cool. You feel that way? I must be doing something right.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, but it is what it's going to be.
And so now that we're on the topic of creativity, like what would you classify your artistry style as?
Hey, yo, this is like, this is like really. You say style.
Yes.
Now I feel like a style when it comes to that term, you know, you could put yourself in a box.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like my creativity, artistry is like no limit. Like, it's no limitation to what I can do. Because, you know, Swiss know, like, I can sing, I can rap, I write, and I don't have like I'm going to use the term style. I don't have a style. Like, I'm so unpredictable.
Okay.
You get it? Like, I be here one day, then I'll be here another. Then I got a party joint for you. I got a song that'll make you cry. I got a killer joint for you. I got the hustling joint for you.
With a blank page,
I got a
picture as you see
God's
it at
given
that time.
joint.
Multifaceted, so it's
Yeah,
kind of like
it's like it's no limit to my
Definitely, you know what I mean?
creativity.
You got things in the lane. My daughter be going crazy off the bizzle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, Chisel. Hey, Chisel. Now see that. Hold on, I got to talk about that.
Let me tell you why I said it like that, because now I mean, from where we from and where
Already
we
know.
from,
I know the lingo. Yeah,
take business.
yeah. But the world, we gotta let the world know
let
what
the
it is.
world know it's
It's Chisel. You know what I'm saying? Now it's funny. Now this is how that came about.
Okay.
This how dope in my artistry, creativity is. This is why I said it's really no limitation to me. Now Chisel came about. I was on listening to Hot 97 one day. Drewski and Flex was on there.
yeah.
And they was praising songs that rocked in the club.
Okay.
So, but what I've noticed sitting there analyzing and deciphering what they talking about, the joints that they was praising, when I listened to them, was saying absolutely nothing. Listen, like real talk, nothing.
So it just be like a dope beat
Hey, yo,
with a little hook, and then the words are
nothing.
not really.
So I said,
substance.
and this is the funny thing about that song Chisel. I said, this is what I said. I literally said, yo, I'm gonna make a song, and I ain't gonna say nothing, cause you know I come from a lyrical era.
Exactly.
Like, we get busy, you feel me?
Yeah.
So I said, I'm gonna try something, I'm gonna do something, and I ain't gonna say nothing. I said, you know what? I said, I'm gonna make a song, and I'm gonna use na 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 and eeny meeny miny mo. Hey, word is boy. Hey Joe, that shit is a banger.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally,
Kids, like,
I'm
I
literally
didn't know.
saying.
I just hear the
And
kids
so,
saying certain
and so
parts.
you didn't even know from that standpoint what
Right.
the inspiration
Bruh.
came from, but now you know.
Bruh, I said but you know what's crazy? I said my creativity, cause what I was really set out to do was make a wax song. I'm keeping it on it. That's what I was trying to do. I was really trying to make a wax song. No disrespect to anybody else that's doing. Y'all do y'all thing. It is what it is. I just come from a different era with different standards in music. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I was in my mind like, I'm gonna make a whack joint. I'm gonna use any, meeny, miny, mo, and then, and just make the wackest joint, bro. When I say that shit, fire.
But so at what point in time during the writing process was you putting this together? You was like, hold up, I got something
Yo,
here.
you know what's crazy? I didn't get that feeling till after it was done.
Okay.
It wasn't even because the process was just something regular.
It was very simple and basic
Very,
and easy to you.
very
It just
regular.
came
Like I think I freestyled it.
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
It was catchy, like I said. Like
That was it.
It's catchy.
Yeah.
And that was the praise they was giving because the songs that they was talking about was catchy.
Yeah.
Right.
It was that little Uzi Vert joint.
It's realizing that
yeah.
it's the catchiness of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which makes you look. He set out to make a wax song, but he can't. The catchiness.
That
is
part.
Part of the lyricism.
That part.
The
Yeah.
catchiness. I gotta still. It's still gonna be catchy.
Hey yo,
Yeah.
but what
I
you
know how
just
to ride
said,
the beat regardless.
what you just said is that's what I'm humble that I can't even make a wax song if I wanted to. See, that's where the humbleness kick in. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because that particular song, Chisel, somebody just hit me and said, yo, I got a movie coming out. Can I use your joint, Chisel?
For the soundtrack?
For the
Or just
no,
in the score of the movie?
the score. No, actually the lead theme song. Because it's the song. The movie is about kids.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's about
okay.
kids. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Badass Kids is the name of it.
But ain't that funny how that worked? When you put out your art and you stand in your art, how organically certain things happen.
Absolutely.
It's like you don't even necessarily have to really reach out, although you should be.
Right.
If we're trying to push things, we should be
Right.
having a team that's trying to go ahead and put
Yeah.
this out here. But
Yeah.
oftentimes it's just the most organic thing that happens.
And that's what happened with that. You know what I'm saying? Like it
That's
was
fire.
heard, I put it out. You know what I'm saying? And it was one of them joints I just put out there like just cause. The next thing I went checked the streaming, it was over like 20,000 streams. You know what I'm saying? With no leg work, no promo,
Not even that real push.
no push,
And so
no
this
push.
this is what I want to ask you now, because I'm very adamant about this. I'm gonna put the onus on you, because now that you see that it was doing what it was doing organically, what have you done in the background to try to facilitate that, to give it that boost?
I actually put it on a few playlists,
Okay.
and that was the most
Yeah.
that I did. The
Yeah.
playlist.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And at that particular time, I put that out there for the youth. You know what I'm saying?
1000%.
That's what I put it out there. So I was like trying to call I called a couple of schools.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of dance teams. You know what I'm saying? My man, what's my man name?
Because I'm trying to see how we can work this record. Like, how can we get this record
Well,
out of the stratosphere?
you know what's crazy? And I want to say this. When I put the record out, I didn't even have the knowledge that I have now. So now it's like, it's out there. It's going to make noise. It's going to do what it do.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to recoup what I supposed to recoup because I didn't put it out there the right way.
The right way. Okay.
See, people don't know it's a wrong and right way to put music out there.
And I'm glad you said that, because this platform is about highlighting, but it's also about teaching. And so in layman's terms, can you give us like what you should do if you're trying to capitalize on your art?
I'm going to say this. Like, say if you want to put music, like, say just on a streaming platform.
This is game. This is game.
Oh, yeah,
now.
this-
He giving y'all some game now. So take notes on this.
Yeah, this $1 million worth of game right here. Salute to Wallow and Gilly. You feel me?
Salute.
Hey, yo, but nah, like when you say if you want to put music out these days and you want to put it like on, just say a TuneCore, a distribution company.
Yes.
People don't know. It's good to do your copyright. You know, do your copyright, get that out the way, you know. And then, you know, people think about publishing. They always saying, I want to do my publishing. You know, publishing is the big publishing. I want to get publishing.
Buzzword.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But not knowing that there's things to that you can even put it out through publishing and still put it out there incorrect.
Oh, okay.
Like, say if you have ASCAP. I've been a part of ASCAP since 2001.
So every artist, if you're trying to do art, you should sign up for ASCAP.
Sign up for ASCAP, which is a publishing company that basically, you know, that finds your music when it's being played out there in the world.
Okay,
And
so
you
you will be
receive
able to
royalties.
recruit if somebody is using
Right,
your,
right.
So that's very important. ASCAP.
Yeah, exactly.
You may not know about.
Right, that's what that do. But see, now this is the part no one tell you about. So this right here is the game that I hope y'all listening. Before you even put it on ASCAP, you have to get a ISRC code and a UPC code. ISRC code is the International Recording Standard Code. Okay. And what that is, that's a fingerprint on that song, which the data picks up if it's played. It could be played in China. Right. That's a fingerprint. Automatically, so where it's in the data, wherever you play it, is going to be picked up, and that's how you collect your royalties. So you got to do that before you even do your ASCAP.
Okay. For that specific
for
song.
that specific song.
Okay.
Do that before you register it to ASCAP, because you know what's crazy? A lot of people will register songs to ASCAP and don't even get to the point where it's like I'm just using it in terms of pages. You got 8 pages to fill out for ASCAP.
Okay.
6th or 7th page, it asks you about your ISRC code. People don't even have the knowledge of that. So that will make a person not even continue with registering.
Yeah, because a lot of times we get frustrated with these long processes.
Yeah, and just the knowledge of not knowing, the ignorance of not knowing what is that. Yeah. So instead of a person, you know, doing research and find out what it is and how important it is, they just say, fuck it, I'm gonna
leave it alone. Exactly.
Now you got crazy music out there in the world that you will never see nothing off of. Right. Never. But it's out there.
It's out there.
You know what I'm saying? You can even get slick and get cocky when they say, yeah, nigga, Google my name. It'll come up. It's on them platforms, but you'll never get nothing for it. Never. So it's the knowledge that I had to sit and learn, You know what I'm saying? Because it made me realize, damn, so I've been doing this shit for over 20 years.
And you speak so passionately about it.
Yeah,
Was
bro.
there a changing moment or one of those aha moments that just made you
I'ma tell
get into that knowledge of
Yeah.
it?
When okay, I'm actually putting myself out there right now. I transitioned in becoming a songwriter.
Okay.
And I said, okay, if I'm going to write a hit for somebody, how will I be able to eat off of it? Because I've written my own songs for years.
Yeah.
I never got a dime for it. So that means I've been doing something wrong.
Yeah.
So let me try to right my wrongs, you know what I'm saying? Right. Now I done dug in. But see, now I don't have a problem with asking. See, that's a closed mouth won't get fed.
Yeah.
So now I know these, exec or industry or people that just been in a business that has their business correct. I can now call, yo, bro, what is this?
You can't be too prideful.
Can't be, you know what I'm saying? But the crazy thing is, like, sometimes it's not even pride. You just don't know.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You don't know that
what you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like once I started to learn and get research, now it's people that's willing to say, nah, Chops, all right, did you do this? Nah, like, what's that? I will look this up, you know what I'm saying? Right. So now I've been, been fed the information. So now I'm sitting there like, yo, I've been doing this wrong for over 2 decades.
Wow.
Like doing it wrong, literally doing it wrong. You know what I'm saying? This is how people get beat out they publishing. Yeah. This is how, these labels rob you because you don't have the knowledge, they ain't gonna tell you.
Exactly.
You feel me?
That's right.
See, but now we in a day and age where you kind of really don't need a label.
You don't.
So
everybody
now
is independent.
Yeah, so
At
the
push of a
information,
button, you can upload whatever you know.
Hey yo, and the crazy thing is when I sit back and being an artist, making my music, and it's like I sit there and be like, yo, these motherfuckers on top of the world, they trash. But you know what? They business. Yeah. They business was done correctly.
It's about having a business,
It's
right?
the business.
Yeah, it's always the business.
Like it's literally 90% business, 10% talent.
Yeah.
Facts, you know what I'm saying? So I learned that. So now that I'm in the like I said, I transitioned to a songwriter. So it's gonna be a song that's about to go crazy. You won't even know that I wrote it.
Had any part
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like I'll show y'all when the plaque come. You know what I'm saying? And then, word, bro, you did. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is, it's not even hip hop.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Gotta read them credits.
And yo, and see, and like I said, this joint, it ain't even hip hop. So that's what I was saying about my creativity. It's no limit to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I can do whatever it is I put my mind to do.
And so you got something to say? I was going to ask, so since you're moving and shaking behind the scenes more often now, is there a person that you want to see yourself working with?
Like elaborate on that a little bit. Like,
so
what sense?
Because you still haven't totally abandoned your artistry from a self-performance standpoint. Right. Is there someone that you want to work with, that you could see yourself working with? That
artist-wise?
Yeah, artist-wise.
Collaboration type-wise?
Collaboration-wise.
This is going to sound crazy, but industry-wise. I'm going to say industry-wise.
So I'll say industry-wise, and then we all about the section in the town.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you know what? All right. So look. All right. Hold on.
In the town wise.
All right. You know what? All right. So I'm gonna skip the industry. I'm gonna go straight to home. You feel me?
Okay.
I really kind of worked with a lot of people that I've always wanted to work with.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And what's crazy? Like I've heard people say, "Yo, Chops, what made you do a joint with such and such?" But they don't call you to do no joints with them. And but see that you gotta be good in your own skin. I say, yo, it don't matter to me. It's something that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I wanted to work with them. You know what I'm saying? Like I still gotta get a joint with me and ROC.
Big L, Pun, Freaky Ty, even Scott LaRock, R.I.P. The ROC's the next genre. Brick City representer, remember, rock, reppin' our corners, block.
Okay.
Man, ROC, now we on a collaboration joint together with other people.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? And that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? You know, and the thing is, like, it's no thought process to it, you know, it just haven't presented itself.
Yeah.
Even throughout our years, like I knew rock since I was in elementary school.
And it's crazy, right?
And being around each other with both of them
Yeah.
having a studio.
Yeah.
See, that's the type of talk I get into, like album of the people that I seen come through the studios together, like
Facts.
from the town, man.
Facts.
Oh my God, like a YB go by Billy Rose right now,
Yeah.
a Chops the Saver record, a
Yup.
rock record with a Piff James on top,
Yup.
somebody like a Sonya Lee singing in the background, like
Yup.
see,
Now,
they don't know people.
now
I
see,
go crazy.
and
Sonya
that's the
Lee,
thing. Now
boy.
everybody,
Yeah, she fine.
yeah, Sonya, she
from the
been
town.
dope. She been dope.
Definitely shout out to
Yeah,
her.
though, yeah, definitely. Yo, shout out to everybody just named. And see, that's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Like, these is all my brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That he named, but it never presented itself. No particular reason.
But
It
that's
just
what
never
I was
presented
about
itself.
to
You know what I'm
add
saying?
to it, because I feel like sometimes a person from the outside looking in could be like, well, why you ain't do nothing with him?
Yeah.
And it's not even that. It's just that we just so happen to be on our own different journeys at that moment.
Yeah.
Like,
And
Right.
but I do feel like moving forward, we have to be more intentional.
Right.
We gotta be intentional
Right.
with getting these things
Well,
done.
that's
Right.
what it was then. They was all
Yeah, that- I
moving,
mean, that was then.
They
That was
all
then.
moving
Yeah.
together, supporting each other though. Like
Right.
being at shows together, might be performing at the same places
All the
but
time.
That's the journey. Like I said, they all on the journey.
Right.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
absolutely,
saying?
absolutely.
Yeah, and it just never presented itself. And it's like, even with these days, just speaking of these days, a lot of the people that I can mention, everybody is so mature now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not really like a thought process or yo, I need to do a joint with such and such. Like, we really not there yet. Not yet. We really not there with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody passion is different now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody passionate. Everybody not chasing the same dream no more. You feel me? So it's like we just left with, that's my brother. I love him. And it is what it's going to be.
Exactly.
I wish him the best. If it presents itself, cool.
Now,
If not, cool. You know
Like
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From a standpoint though of a fan who knows some of these artists, I know with platforms like this, other platforms that got going on in town, get them in a room and put a beat on though. You get
See,
what I'm
now
saying?
let me hold it. Now let me speak on that. Because, I see that and hear that a lot. That's the thing, bro. When you come from wherever that done that effortlessly for so long, that ain't even easy no more.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm just keeping it. Let me speak for myself. Can't nobody sit there and say, "Y'all mother put a beat on, chop spit." No.
No, that's not the form of today. What I'm talking about, I'm talking about creating a song.
Yeah.
I'm talking about put a beat on and create songs.
Oh, that's different.
I'm talking about the
different.
energy in the room
Yeah.
of somebody coming up with a concept of a song. I ain't saying I'm come up with a concept of a song.
All right, that's different.
We
See,
all
but
trying to push a producer.
yeah,
Something
but
like that. Let's get a
see,
fire
but what
producer out the town.
you explaining is a process.
Right.
See, that's different. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going off of what you just said out your mouth. Yo, put a beat on, everybody in the room. You know what I'm saying? I'm going off of that. But a process that's being thought out. That's us getting together,
But
concept,
you know
let's
what?
do this. What up?
I always feel like it takes one person to kind of galvanize a situation. It takes one person to put in that effort. And I do feel like a lot of people, passions are different.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
used to be one
yeah.
of the rappingest, rapper
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah.
But my passion is different.
Right.
However, if I was like, all right, boom, I want to get Chops on this joint. I want to get Piff James on this joint. I reach out to Chops. Chops may not be available for 3 weeks. But God damn it, on that third week, Chops come through.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
it kind of takes a mind, a visionary mind, or a person just
Yeah.
to galvanize
Yeah.
certain things, and we
Yeah.
can get it done.
And it's just from fan standpoints, like you
Yeah.
said, knowing that they got various styles. I don't know, and having different drink. Like, I don't know what character they'd cook up. Like, we had awesome underground groups that formed together
Facts.
just fire lyricists that's different in their own right. You know, Joe Budden, Joel Ortiz, them guys. Like,
exactly.
You know
Right.
So,
Slaughterhouse.
I mean, like, so it's people who they gonna come up with as a process what I should explain, but to make a good song. I ain't talking about just rapping and sparring.
Oh yeah.
Because you know we got the battle rappers over here. We tied in with them too.
Right.
To make a song and make a song about the city. You get what I'm saying? Anything.
I feel like that shit would be fire. Like,
I agree.
There was, you remember what was that back in the day? It was like it wasn't a DJ Clue tape, but it was like a spoof of the DJ Clue tape.
I was on that. You talking about something America.
Exactly.
Hey,
like
let's just talk about that.
Clue
America
tape.
Online.
Now,
Hey, yo,
I feel like
they jack
a
Clue
modern
voice.
day, exactly, and Clue wasn't too happy about that. Because, hey, yo, ain't that the Brick City way to do some shit? Like,
made a whole mixtape off of that, yo.
but I feel like something like that
Right.
with the modern day, with, you know, some of the elder statesmen acts, some of the younger guys that's out here doing what they doing.
Yeah.
I feel like that, because it's, like it or not, man, it's a lot of energy swirling around the city.
To be continued only on Uncontrolled Substance TV.